The first Fast game released on the Nintendo Wii all the way back in 2011, and ever since, the series has exclusively called Nintendo consoles home. Fast Racing Neo launched on the Wii U in 2015, while Fast RMX was a launch title for the Nintendo Switch. The Fast series wasted no time coming to the Switch 2, with Fast Fusion serving as one of 5 Nintendo Switch 2 launch exclusives. Hardcore fans of far future racing games in the vein of Wipeout or F-Zero will have a blast with Fast Fusion, though missteps in some key areas do hold it back from reaching its full potential. Fast Fusion is a high-speed, sci-fi racer where players zip across gorgeous tracks, smashing into opponents and utilizing color-coded boosts along the way. Unlike many other racing games where speed boosts are a simple matter of driving across them, players have to manually swap between blue and red power depending on the situation. This adds an extra layer to the racing, rewarding players who can swap between the different settings at the exact right time. Extra boost can be stored by picking up coins on the track that players can employ whenever they need an extra bit of speed. Fast Fusion races are blisteringly fast, which keeps things plenty exciting. Zipping around tight corners is thrilling, and figuring out the best times to utilize the vehicle's jump functionality to not only get the most air but get the biggest advantage over opponents adds a nice challenge. When it comes to the core racing experience, there is nothing to complain about in Fast Fusion. Fast Fusion's 12 tracks look fantastic and offer a great deal of variety. One track may be set in a desert with giant sand whales jumping across the road, while another takes place in a stormy area full of hazardous tornadoes. One of my favorite tracks seems to take direct inspiration from Final Fantasy VII's Midgar, set in an imposing city with a green glow. The game takes great advantage of the Switch 2 hardware to ensure that everything pops. Fast Fusion is no slouch in the performance department either. There are zero hiccups, slowdowns, or any other kind of technical issue, with players able to choose between a variety of settings to tailor the visual experience however they want. It's easily one of the best-looking Switch 2 launch games. Cash is king. The main game mode in Fast Fusion is Championship, which is the equivalent of something like Mario Kart World's Grand Prix. In it, players compete against NPCs across a set of 3 tracks, with the obvious goal of getting first place. And this is where Fast Fusion stumbles a bit. In similar racing games, getting first, second, or third place is enough to advance to the next cup. Fast Fusion instead has players purchasing the cups using in-game currency. On paper, there's nothing wrong with this idea. The boost tokens players pick up on the track give them cash, and players earn a healthy amount of cash from winning cups. The issue is that this currency is also used for purchasing new vehicles and taking advantage of the game's fascinating namesake fusion system, where players can combine 2 existing vehicles to create a brand new ride with upgraded stats. If players choose to spend their hard-earned Fast Fusion money on vehicles, they will force themselves to have to repeat cups they've already done to get enough money to purchase the new ones. It would make a lot more sense to tie cup progression to completion, while reserving the currency for vehicles. There are a couple of other ways to earn money besides repeating championship cups, but they aren't nearly as efficient. Fast Fusion features a superhero mode that is basically a super tough race where players can't crash and have to deal with a few other requirements, plus time attack. It would have been nice if cash could be earned from playing Fast Fusion multiplayer, but unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be possible. This would have given Fast Fusion multiplayer a nice sense of progression, especially since Championship mode is strictly a solo affair. Fast Fusion's multiplayer is the other area where the game drops the ball. On one hand, Fast Fusion should be praised for its 4-player split-screen support and Switch 2 GameShare functionality. On the other hand, the fact that players can't earn money in Fast Fusion multiplayer is disappointing, and there isn't any meaningful online support. It's possible to race online with a friend, but there is no matchmaking. The lack of traditional online multiplayer in Fast Fusion is the game's biggest downside and is something that racing game fans should keep in mind before they decide to pick it up. Then again, Fast Fusion is available at a budget price of $14.99. Compared to some other Switch 2 games, it's super cheap, and it definitely gives players their money's worth, even with the lack of proper online multiplayer and misguided progression. Racing game fans that need something a little different from Mario Kart World should consider giving Fast Fusion a look. As long as they are aware of its shortcomings, they should still walk away satisfied with the overall package. Plus, Fast Fusion has new content on the horizon that should make it even more worthwhile.